You can go ahead.
Good evening. Welcome to the February 12th Board of Aldermen meeting of the City of Town and Country, Missouri. I now call this meeting to order and will ask people to please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I would now ask the city clerk to do the roll call for attendance.
Alderman Allen.
Here.
Alderman Francisco.
Here.
Alderman Hughes.
Here.
Alderman Kinsella.
Here.
Alderman Murphy.
Here.
Alderman Schwer.
Here.
And Alderman Weasahan.
Here.
Mary is presiding, and we do have a quorum.
Great, thank you. Before we go to approving the minutes, just want to make comments on a couple of things. I was happy to see that Sergeant Develston has been promoted to Lieutenant Develston. Very well-deserved. So I'm just wanting to make public note of that. That's a very good thing. I also wanted to call out our finance department, headed up by Joanne Givalli, for our certificate of achievement for excellence in financial reporting. There are not that many cities in the state of Missouri that win this award. I know the members of the board are already aware of it, but I want to put it on public record for that achievement, and congratulations. Interesting thing too, and I'm not going to divert much, but I thought it was interesting in the when the Chief Justice of the Missouri Supreme Court gave an update on the state of the judiciary for the state of Missouri. She noted that there were a lot of inmates who were not getting mental health care that they deserved because of the lack of mental health resources in the state. I would, just as a practicing physician, would just comment that it isn't just inmates who are having trouble. It can be oftentimes 6 months before I can get a patient in to see a psychiatrist or more. And then someone's having a crisis. 6 months is not a reasonable amount of time. It's a real issue. What I think is even a bigger issue in a sense is that it isn't like we have an absolute paucity of mental health resources. We have a fair number of licensed clinical social workers, a fair number of psychologists, a fair number of psychiatrists, but we have an overwhelming need for those resources. And this isn't, and so I think it almost begs the bigger issue. What are we doing wrong as a society that we have a need for mental health resources that way outstrips what I think some of the people would say is an adequate amount of resources? I have no answer for that, and I am not here to expound on my thoughts on why that is. I'm just noting that it is an issue, and I don't think there's a solution in the near future. My final comment would be I was going to, and I think I'm going to defer this to Alderman Allen, but I did want to comment on the findings of the Ways and Means, but I think, are you going to comment on that? I'm going to let that go. Thank you. All right, then I will seek a motion and a second to approve the minutes from the January 22nd, 2024 meeting.
So
Second. Any discussion or amendment? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Here's the passion answer. Thank you. We have one citizen, also a candidate, Mr. Al Gerber, wishes to speak. Mr. Gerber, okay, you have the, and just as you know, the protocol, and you just state your name and your address, and then you have 3 minutes.
Okay,
Got it. Thank you.
Al Gerber, 13482 Mason Village Court. I wanted to speak on the bills 2404, 2405, kind of straightening out the situation with the city executive, what do you call it? City, what's your
Administrator.
Administrator, that's it, not executive. City administrator and the chief of police. I was on the board back when That was one person. And I've got to say, he was a great guy, but it was an impossible situation. It was really not good, and it's great that you're straightening out. I'm hoping that the language, as I read it in there, the language says that the city administrator, that the chief of police reports to the city administrator, that implies legally that they cannot be the same person. I'm hoping that it does, because that's the important thing that you got to get in here. You got to make sure that they're two separate people. They have sometimes conflicting interests, and it's good that they're two separate people. And when they are one person, one of those positions really fell short. And it's good that we have put them back in the right situations. So I just wanted to speak out on that issue. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We do not have a public hearing, we do not have an appointment. I will recognize the board's opportunity to provide reports. Now,
Thank you, Mayor. First of all, I would like to thank Chief Wilkie again. He came to Mason Point on the 29th and spoke to the residents group. And it was short but very insightful, and I only heard great feedback, and it was very much appreciated. Okay, and Mayor, I'd like to continue then and report that on January 31st, we had the Ways and Means Commission. And at that time, there was significant discussion about various options moving forward, where we are, what the projections that we have. And the Ways and Means Commission did vote and passed a recommendation that this Board of Aldermen move forward with proposing a property tax for town and country at 23 cents per $100 assessment. Any questions?
no, I'm glad that is, the more we have discussion, so that these are difficult things. Nobody likes taxes. Nobody likes paying a property tax that hasn't been had to be paid to the city, town, and country since 1996. But there are certain realities out there that we have to address. And I just want to be sure that we're going to do everything we can as a board and as a city, so it's not a surprise. If when the board, through their due diligence, decides that's the thing to do, that it's not a surprise. So thank you for putting that on the record. Alderman Murphy.
Thank you. From the Parks and Trails Commission, Art and Wine is an event that will be held at Longview on Friday, February 23rd from 5 to 7. Tickets are available on the Town and Country website. We've got our artists already in the house, if you will, nature photographer Brady Kestner and plein air painter Sandy Haynes and Daniel Fishback. They'll be in attendance that evening with their artwork. The event is being sponsored by the Venice Group, so we appreciate their support. Proceeds will go to the military and first responders tribute. The evening obviously will feature the art, also wine bowl, small specialized auction, appetizers wine, and a special message from a local celebrity. We hope to see as many people in the community who can make it at that event. Thank you.
Yeah, I think it'll be a wonderful event. I hope we have a huge turnout. Absolutely.
But no more than 100. Because that's how long we can hold.
We have 100. Alderman Hughes.
Thank you, Mayor. The next meeting of the Architecture Review Board will be on Monday, March the 4th at 5:30 p.m. here at the Municipal Center. All are welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. And I've heard good feedback from your first meeting. So congratulations. Alderman Francisco.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just want to let folks know that the Mason Road resurfacing project will get underway this month with an estimated completion at sometime this summer. The project includes pavement resurfacing, curb and ramp replacement, traffic signal replacement at Clayton and Mason. These improvements are along Mason Road from Clayton to 64. The affected residents are being told about this through the county. Postcards have gone out to all of those folks. They know it's coming up. And they will be pushing out all the updates on this. This is a major project with closures and detours that will be occurring throughout the several months because it is a full replacement. And finally, the next public works meeting is next Tuesday, the 20th, right here at 6:30.
Thank you very much. Mr. Shelton, do you have a report or not?
No. No report tonight.
All right. Moving on to unfinished business, bill number 24-02, sponsored by Alderman Sullivan Francisco. Without objection, would the city clerk read the bill for the second time?
Bill number 2402 is an ordinance approving a conditional use and authorizing a conditional use permit for an accessory structure, a permanent outdoor game court located at 21 Williamsburg Estates in the city of Town and Country.
Thank you. I seek a motion and second.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion or amendment? For the city clerk, ask for a roll call vote.
Alderman Kinsella.
Aye.
Alderman Francisco.
Aye.
Alderman Weezahan.
Aye.
Alderman Murphy.
Aye.
Alderman Schwer.
Aye.
Alderman Allen.
Aye.
And Alderman Hughes.
Aye.
The bill passes unanimously and becomes ordinance number 4610.
Next is bill number 24-03, also sponsored by Alderman Sullivan Francisco. Without objection, would the city clerk read the bill for the second time?
Bill number 2403 is an ordinance approving a conditional use and authorizing a conditional use permit for an accessory structure, a pavilion, located at 21 Williamsburg Estates Drive in the city of Town and Country.
Thank you. I seek a motion and second to approve.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion or amendment? I'm going to ask the city clerk for a roll call vote.
Alderman Francisco. Alderman Allen.
Aye.
Alderman Murphy.
Aye.
Alderman Hughes.
Aye.
Alderman Schwer.
Aye.
Alderman Kinsella.
Aye.
And Alderman Weezahan.
Aye.
The bill passes unanimously and becomes ordinance number 4611.
Next bill number 24-04, the board as a whole, without objection, for the city clerk to read the bill for the second time.
Bill number 2404 is an ordinance amending Title I, Chapter 110, Mayor and Board of Aldermen of the Town and Country Municipal Code, specifically Section 110.020 regarding the specific duties for the office of mayor.
Thank you. I seek a motion and second.
Second.
Any discussion or amendment? I would ask the city clerk for a roll call vote.
Alderman Allen.
Aye.
Alderman Schwer.
Aye.
Alderman Murphy.
Aye.
Alderman Hughes.
Aye.
Alderman Kinsella. Alderman Weezahan.
Aye.
And Alderman Francisco.
Aye.
The bill passes unanimously and becomes ordinance 4612.
Thank you very much. Next bill number 24-05, sponsored board as a whole, without objection, for the city clerk to read the bill for the second time.
Bill number 2405 is an ordinance amending various sections of Title II, Chapter 200, Police of the Town and Country Municipal Code, specifically regarding the Chief of Police and Police Department.
Thank you. I seek a motion and second to approve.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion on that? Alderman Weezahan.
Thank you, Mayor. I did just want to touch base, after the question was asked by Mr. Gerber. If Ed had a minute just to kind of explain if there is a difference in the positions.
Yeah, so as the governor mentioned previously, having held by a single person, the question always comes down to, there's no like very clear answer, but it comes down to whether the officers are compatible or not. And so I think probably better practice to have it as two different individuals. I think it used to be a lot more common that you'd have it as a consolidated position. So the analysis would center on whether you can have those positions compatible or not. Don't get too far into the legalese in public session. But.
So, I mean, would it be assumed that you kind of combine it out of necessity as opposed to a want? I mean, to keep it simply.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the history that led to it being when it was Chief Copeland. I know he was here for a long time. He was here when I first started doing legal work, and I remember that he was both those positions. So I would imagine it was a combination. That's a dangerous thing to imagine, but I imagine it was a combination between resource and also, and the size of the city at the time, the amount of work at the time, the that was going on at the time. I think, generally speaking, the city administrator and chief of police have pretty different skill sets. I also think he, at the time, had 2 assistant chiefs who did a lot of the policing side that would traditionally be done by the chief.
I would assume that if you had both positions as one, it would be a small municipality that perhaps had financial constraints.
The only one that I can think of where, actually, I don't think he's there anymore, but until recently was one, it was a much smaller municipality.
But I guess if you are the city administrator, you and the police chief, you can give the police chief a lot of raises.
Are you aware?
Alderman Murphy.
I have a couple of questions. You might be correct on those. You mentioned Police Chief Copeland was the last time this was a situation. Roughly when was that? How many years ago?
2013 was when he retired.
2013, so 11 years later, we're getting around to figuring this out.
It's not actually, the changes weren't really precipitated by that, it's some cleanup. And I think it wasn't like this is now, let's take an affirmative step to outlaw or prohibit. It's during the process of cleaning up the language, making it clear there's a report to the city administrator, Mr. Sanko was adding in. Frankly, when Jim mentioned that, I was like, oh yeah, that is a side effect. It wasn't something that was during the conversations that I had with staff. I don't know what staff said between themselves, but it's not really, hey, we don't want this to happen again, let's change this language. It's, we need to just do some general cleanup, and that's part of it.
And for this type of situation, what types of checks and balances, maybe to Mr. Shelton as well, what types of checks and balances would you have in there? To have everything go through you, or the city administrator, I should say, can potentially in less than ideal hands cause problems. So what types of checks and balances do you foresee?
So to back up just a second, what really precipitated this is we realized in discussion with the mayor that we had conflicting sections of our code that said the city administrator, whoever that is responsible for the day-to-day operations of all departments, including the police department. Other sections of the code, the one we're proposing to be amended, stated that the mayor, the police chief, reported to the mayor. Obviously, that's a conflict. That would allow a police chief to go to the mayor or to the city administrator, like whoever they thought may be a favorable response. So that's the intent to clean this up. The check and balance with the city administrator is always with the mayor by the code and the board of aldermen, but more specifically with the mayor. So the city administrator is held responsible to the mayor, and then all the department heads report to the city administrator. Very, very clean and specific with these amended changes.
Alderman Francisco.
Just out of curiosity, sorry. Now that you're there, you're gonna stay there. Is, other than Copeland, at any other point that we are aware of anyone here, did we do this any other time, or that job was shared by someone else? Or was that just kind of a unique situation we had in place for a long time?
Actually, was there an interim period maybe?
Maybe, but
Yeah.
not permanent like it was
So it
for
was a
Copeland,
rare
because that
thing.
was 20 years probably. That he-
Yeah, so, because then it was, Gary became the city administrator and Pat Franz became the chief. It's possible there may have been during the interview, the decision-making process, an interim, but as I stand here, I don't have a clear recollection.
It's not like a history of this, it seems like this was a one-time thing. Not
Well, any further discussion, I would ask the city clerk for a roll call vote.
Alderman Weezingham.
Aye.
Alderman Hughes.
Aye.
Alderman Murphy.
Aye.
Alderman Kinsella.
Aye.
Alderman Francisco.
Aye.
Alderman Allen.
Aye.
And Alderman Schwer.
Aye.
The bill passes unanimously and becomes ordinance number 4613.
Under new business, bill number 24-06, I think it should be sponsored by the board as a whole. Without objection, would the city clerk read it over the first time?
Bill number 2406 is an ordinance amending Exhibit B of ordinance number 4598 regarding the rate of compensation of an exempt managerial employee.
Bill number 24-06 is continued the meeting of Monday, February 26, 2024, for the second reading consideration. Next bill number 2407 is sponsored passed by Aldermen Allen and Murphy from Ward 4. Without objection, will the city clerk read the bill for the first time?
Bill number 2407 is an ordinance approving a grant application and reimbursement request for a stormwater maintenance project at 13036 Fairfield Oaks Road, and authorizing the execution of a maintenance agreement between the City of Town and Country and the applicant for same.
Thank you. Bill number 2407 is continued to meeting Monday, February 26, 2024, for the second reading consideration. The warrant list is in the amount of $297,782.61. I seek a motion and second to approve.
Second.
And I'll take one, where do they come? Alderman Murphy.
Thank you. Just one kind of general policy question. I noticed several acts of procurement, if you will, using a credit card. And I just wanted to find out what the limits or what the policies are for use of credit card. I certainly understand the convenience factor of getting a transaction done quickly, but I just trying to get a sense if there's a limit or what the guidelines are.
So we have a transaction limit for each item that can be no higher than $1,500. But those individuals who have city credit cards cannot have, they can't incur an expenditure of more than $2,500 a month. So there's that credit limit as well. And then we also require that they follow various policies, including our purchasing policy. We also have a travel policy, a credit card policy, so there are all kinds of rules and restrictions requiring them to turn in receipts, et cetera. If there's anything questionable, I ask the questions, or our senior accountant Laura asks the questions and requests follow-up information, and we get that. This is one of those things that we're very particular of, but it is one of the things that the auditors particularly like to look very closely at to make sure that we're in compliance with all of our policies with regard to these types of expenditures.
Pretty much everybody knows this, but for the record, none of the members of the Board of Aldermen or the mayor have one of those credit cards. This is true. Just to put that on the record. Alderman Francisco.
Yeah, I just had a couple of quick questions. One on the, refresh my memory on the deer processing fee. I know it was $8,000 to process the meat. Do we absorb that whole cost, or do we share that with the food bank, or can we write that off in any capacity?
No, so we absorb that entire cost. You are correct. It goes to share the harvest.
Right.
And it is part of the requirement that the Conservation Department places on us as part of this program, and any other city that participates in this. So that is our expense. The good news is a portion of the year this year, we didn't have to pay to process because they went to the Red Wolf program of the zoo.
Okay.
So we did save some money through that.
This is a nefarious question, but, and it's not meant to be completely lighthearted, but if we shot deer and let the meat spoil and they couldn't process it, would we save the $8,000?
I don't know the answer to that. I'm not a deer
I'm not
specialist.
looking to do that.
Well, you're kind of going where I was, because I'm wondering, if we spend $8,000 to process it, is there, what else would we do with it?
Right.
We can't eat deer carcasses on the side of the road. I just didn't know what other options you have. But in order to be part of this program, we have to commit to
Part of the
processing.
requirement with the Department of Conservation.
And we're trying to feed the hungry with that as well, as the actual part. So I'm trying
And then I
to-
just have one other question, sorry. There was that, and then, and this is small, but under restroom supplies, we've got two line numbers, and they say the same thing. One says 24 packs for $72, and right underneath it, it says 24 packs for over $1,000. So I'm just trying to figure out.
What was the,
It's, the vendor is New System, it's restroom supplies. There's an item on January 23rd for $72 for 24 packs. And the very next day, 24 packs again for over $1,000. And I just was curious. On page 6. I was like, is that a mistake?
I don't know.
Or?
Joanne can.
Only because it says the exact same thing and the numbers are so, different.
I would imagine there are different types of supplies just through the new system. So they provide a variety of product. But
I can answer the
Joanne
question.
can.
So the one invoice is for $72.10, and it just has, one item for 96 rolls of a 30 case pallet, of 2-ply tissue. The other one, which is the $1,153.80, had all kinds of things, including, a urinal screen, antibacterial, I'm trying to see. It's the Paramount Antibacterial Plum Perfection. Then there's, toilet paper, there's all kinds of itemized
It wasn't
items
an
on
apples to
here.
apples, it was
So
different things.
many things.
That's all I wanted to double check, because it just seems that they were just, the dates were one after the other, and it was classified as the same thing, so I was just curious.
That was a good pickup. Alderman Hughes.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to update the board. The anonymous donor was able to contribute $300 towards the pet waste bag expense as listed on the last warrant list. And just wanted to update you on that.
If you run into that donor, tell them the city says thank you.
I'll tell the anonymous donor. Thank you.
Alderman Kinsella.
Thank you, Mayor. Mr. Sheldon, this is a question I have for you. We're spending almost $4,000 then to West County EMS for reimbursement of water that's used to treat the landscape around the firehouse. I was curious then, is that something that's a growing expense, or how is that compared with year to year?
So that is higher than last year. Last year, the expense was just a little bit over 3,000. But what we started doing last year is we actually had a meter put on just for the irrigation. We used to estimate the expense in prior years. So now we know what our usage is. And Tom Thousand, who handles this for us and tracks it, said our usage was up a little bit, but the water company expense was even more reason for the increase in expense this year.
I can speak from personal experience. I put a meter at our house and my water bill is double or triple what it used to be.
So we're having the meter removed?
Your phone's gonna ring.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, thank you. I do not have any other topics to bring up. Does anyone else have? If not, I will now entertain a motion to close the meeting pursuant to section 610.021 in parentheses 1, 3, and 13, the revised statutes of the state of Missouri to discuss legal actions, personnel, and attorney-client privilege communications. Is there a motion?
Okay.
And a second? Any discussion? I'd ask the city clerk for a roll call vote.
Alderman Hughes.
Aye.
Alderman Kinsella.
Aye.
Alderman Allen.
Aye.
Alderman Murphy.
Aye.
Alderman Francisco.
Aye.
Alderman Schwer.
Aye.
And Alderman Weezahan.
Aye.
It carries unanimously, and for the record, the board will not return to open session.
Thank you.
We're adjourned.
Mr. River, thanks for coming.